All right, let me just share my screen and get my presentation going here. All right, so like I said, my name is Ellyse and I'm from Amazon. I'm gonna be hiring for our entry-level positions at our warehouses. I'll pull up, I have a Google map. We have quite a few sites in the area. So why Amazon? Our mission is to be Earth's most customer-centric company. This is what kind of unites our whole team. It is our guiding light, is what can we do for our customer? Together we create and we build, so we take ownership over each of our areas and are all working to improve and where the orders for the customer really come to life. Growth is a huge thing for us. Quite a few people, most of my team have all been promoted from entry-level roles in the warehouses. And the hourly associates are the ones on the front lines filling customer orders. So if you have a positive attitude and demonstrate leadership skills, good job performance, really quality, safety, and attendance are the big things that we're looking for. And again, really safety is a number one thing. So if you're committed to those things, you normally do pretty well. Safety, right? Like that 3 times in a row. With COVID-19, we're really trying to evolve and make sure that we're safe for everyone that's here with us. So we have really strict social distancing. Daily temperature checks are required. We're providing PPE, so masks and gloves, along with regular cleaning. So we're doing some pretty massive disinfecting daily, as well as regular disinfecting of the stations. And so health and safety for us is top of mind. If you saw my video earlier, I was definitely wearing a mask. Now I'm alone. Diversity and inclusion is another big tenet for us. And we're continually looking for ways to strengthen that. So we have internal things called affinity groups. So we have quite a few that revolve around pride, and we have a 13 total. And hiring the best talent is another big piece of that, right? If you hire smart and diverse people, you get smart and diverse ideas. Inclusion is another big piece. We have a lot of different internal learning programs, different conferences and things like that, that really focus on that piece. And the other piece is data. We're definitely a data-driven company, so we're constantly looking at our diversity data and how we can improve and make changes there. So the entry-level roles, we have a couple of different types of buildings. Fulfillment centers being what you think of for a traditional warehouse. It's where you're packing up the orders and selecting the items to send to customers. Sort centers are going to kind of be the step in the middle where you're taking those packages and getting them into a closer zip code range. So it's for effective and fast delivery. And delivery stations is where they're coming from that sort center and going out to the delivery trucks and out to the customers. Prime Now, those are our locations with the 2-hour delivery. That'll also be our fresh locations. So that one is kind of just a shortened bit from the fulfillment center. You're packing up those orders and they're going straight out to the customer. Fresh is the same thing, but with groceries. We also have a partnership with Whole Foods where you are a shopper preparing orders for customers there. Again, it's kind of in that 2-3 hour delivery window. And then delivery services. So that's the drivers, the Amazon trucks that you see out on the street. We also have Amazon Air. So obviously our packages are going all across the country. So there are some positions there. So this just goes into it a little bit, but I kind of talked about that with the limited time. I want to make sure I get everything. The hiring process is a little bit different than most. There isn't a formal job interview. A lot of what it is through the application. So there's a job preview where you kind of sort some items by color and to different places, a little preview of what it looks like to use the devices we have here. And then you come to see us here, that's my team, with the new hire appointment where we process your I-9 documents, take a badge photo, and answer any questions that you have. And then with COVID, we've moved the majority of our onboarding online. So you have a lot of virtual training, so a lot of your safety kind of basics, your workplace basics are all going to be virtual. And then you'll have your first day to start your on-the-job training at the site that you choose. I put the website at the bottom. It's amazon.com/Seattle hourly jobs. I'll drop it in the chat too after this. So what are the jobs like? Super relaxed dress code, right? You're moving around. You want to be comfortable and able to perform the job. You're obviously going to be standing or walking for 4 to 10 hours a day. The 4 to 10 hours depends on the type of shift that you choose. Be able to lift 49 pounds, right? You're grabbing things for your customer, whether it's a case of water or a little brush for your cat. Some of ours do have pit equipment, so power industrial trucks. You don't have to know how to operate that stuff. We'll provide you with the training, and not all sites have them. So typical shift schedules, we have full-time, part-time, and part-time flexible. So part-time shifts, there'll be a set 3 or 4 days a week with 4 to 5 hours a day. Full-time shifts will be 4 or 5 days a week with 8 to 12 hours a day. And then there's the flexible, where you can choose any shift you like it through an app. The site will post what they need and you just pick it up. You just have to pick up 3 per month. The only thing I didn't cover is the job requirements. You do have to be authorized to work in the US. You have to be 18, and we do drug test as well, also for federal. Like breezed through that. Let me paste my link here. So yeah, if you just go to that link, it will show all of the open jobs that we have. And then actually, let me share my screen again so I can show you the closest location to White Center. So we have quite a few in Georgetown. Those will be delivery stations and Prime Now. But as you can see, we have kind of spanning the sound area. But yeah, those two are going to be the closest for you. One other peek behind the curtain, our sites place orders every single week for how many people they need. So our jobs page, that link that I sent, changes pretty regularly. So if there's a site that you want or something closer to home and it's not there, just check back on the next week. It's on Fridays that they post, and there will probably be something different. Do you need a diploma? You do need a high school diploma or a GED. But depending on the time of year or the site, they can waive that requirement if they choose to sometimes. Right now, everyone is requiring it. Cool.
Other questions for Amazon? Ellyse, I do want to say that we have had teens or young adults figure out the bus from White Center to the Kent location before. And I believe your Kent is a large distribution center of some sort. So
yep, Kent is our largest one, yeah, for sure, and they're always hiring.
Georgetown absolutely is probably closest, but we have had young adults. You came to the job fair, Amazon came to the job fair last year, and so young adults were able to make the bus work to the Kent location.
Great.
There must be a bus line nearby somewhere.
Yep, yeah. I think it's the 153 and 97. That second one I'm taking a guess, but yeah.
That many of us resources can help teens figure out. That's just getting on the net with the Metro site.
Yeah.
Could you describe a good example of a promotion path from entry level and a timeline for a strong employee?
Yeah, so it really just depends on your interest. There's a lot of infrastructure within these facilities, especially like the one in Kent that are larger. Like we have on-site HR, we have on-site IT. My team is on-site at the Kent location. So essentially you can go a couple different routes. A lot of the entry-level associates move into something called problem solving. So there are issues with an order, you go in to look into that. People find that pretty interesting, and that's kind of one level up. But the development is really strong. So you can move into an HR position that's on site. That's a pretty good path. We have a program called A to Tech, which is an internal training program for IT with on-the-job learning. So that one can move you pretty quickly. Like I said, most of my team is from Tier 1 associates from the entry-level roles. So you can move in over here as well. Like this month, we've been hiring like crazy over here. So this month we have 4 or 5.
Okay, we've had a really good question here. I submitted 2 applications earlier this week. No response yet. What should I do since there is not a number to call?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to put our candidate support link. It will provide you with a number to call if you'd like to do that. You can also chat with that person as well. If it's for one of those entry-level roles, you can also, I'll give you my team's email as well.
Thank you, Ellyse.
And they can answer any application questions that you have.
And it looks like we have a question from the YWCA. Olivier.
Did I have a question?
Yeah.
No. I was just going to point out to someone was asking from the Orion Center. Do you need? They were asking if they need a diploma, but if they do need a diploma and would like to get a diploma, YWCA does offer GED certification and training classes, whatever, free.
Perfect. Thank you.
There's
So don't forget your resource list from the beginning of the job fair. The resources are here to help you. So if you're excited about one of these employers and there is a certification or a GED needed, we're here to help you work towards that goal.
It costs nothing. So
yeah, good price. Other questions for Ellyse? And it looks like Ellyse has put some really valuable email contacts and a website in the chat. So if you want to follow up with Ellyse or her team, please jot those down. And I believe her contact is also in the information that Jojo put together that's downloadable. Oh, the Dan put together, Dan and Jojo. Other questions? Okay,